Okay, we're going to look at an option that Photo offers us to not only do our initial raw development in unbounded 32-bit, but also when we develop, carry that through to the photo persona so we stay in 32-bit the entire time. So just to get technical for a second, this poses a big advantage if color conversion is a heavy part of your workflow, essentially because we're not clipping out of range or negative values. And this applies especially to computer-generated imagery and source files from cameras that can shoot in RAW formats. But aside from that, it does have quite a neat little use for your average everyday image editing. So firstly, to enable 32-bit output, we need to go up here to the Assistant options. Then, under RAW output format, we can change to RGB 32-bit HDR. And by default, this also sets the tone curve to take no action. So we can click Close, and then let's say for argument's sake we bump the exposure up and reduce the highlights, like so. And let's go even further with the exposure. Then we'll click Develop. Okay, so at this stage, if we had developed to a 16-bit document, the detail out of range either side here of the histogram would have been clipped and lost irretrievably. But because we've developed to unbounded 32-bit, all of that out of range information is actually still available. So watch this. I can go back into the develop persona and reduce the exposure and bring back all of that clipped highlight detail. Or I could go the other way and bring back that black detail that we thought was previously lost. This doesn't just work in the develop persona, so if I cancel that for a minute, I can also go ahead and add a basic exposure adjustment in the photo persona and achieve the same result. Okay. So that's quite a useful little feature, but you must just be aware that developing and processing in unbounded 32-bit is not some kind of magic bullet for increasing the quality of your raw output. It's incredibly useful for a non-destructive workflow if you want to go back in and make exposure changes as you're going along and working, but most cameras tend to shoot RAW at either 12 or 14-bit precision, and developing in 32-bit doesn't change that. So you'll still get issues like posterization and breakup if you try and push the tones in the image too far. And also, just a side note, the same as if you're working with any kind of 32-bit document, you can open up the 32-bit preview panel to preview various ranges of the unbounded tonal range. So there we go, hope that was helpful to you. If you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to ask on the Affinity forums, and don't forget to check out the other video tutorials. Thank you for watching.